As you can tell, tubers, I have been busy. Nah, just kidding. I bought these from somebody that was getting rid of them. He had manufactured his own brand of floating raft, and he was selling these. I went to listen to him speak about aquaponics this weekend with my wife, and picked up some really good pointers. But right now I'm putting together a couple cracky beds, at least one, so that I can put the lettuce I started in it. As always, pay no mind to the little fat guy doing all this stuff. But anyway, I'm just kidding. I'm taking this old one apart. I'm going to replace this black plastic with some of the UVV film I've got. Hopefully that'll work. Just thinking it should. It's pretty strong stuff. And I'm going to rebuild this one because it's coming apart. Sorry, but you guys see this. Those are ladybugs. A bunch of them. I don't know what to do with those either. There's more. Some roaches. This has been sitting outside. And even more. This has been sitting outside for a while, so I'm gonna figure out what to do with these guys. I am certain that you will see ladybugs flying in front of this thing. I got as many of them as I could out, let them go outside because I think they might bake in here. But there are hundreds of them still in here. Which, if they live, may be a really good thing. I will welcome them if they're going to help me out in here. Okay, I have cut a piece of my greenhouse cover that was left over from one of the ends. We'll try that, see if it works. Pretty tough stuff. Guys, I wanted to tell you, you fill it up first and then you try and work the corners in, make sure you got it nice and tucked in those corners so you don't have any spots where it's going to rub or wear. Make sure it's nice and tight fitting. Corners are the tough spot. But if you do misplace a tool, I wasn't going to do this, I wasn't even going to show you this, but I've misplaced my level. So this is what you get, guys, when you misplace your tools. Yeah, you have to rely on the wife's toolbox. Pretty embarrassing. Alright, no comments, no crazy comments. That is my wife's. Believe it. Alright, I'm going to fill this up and I'm going to finish putting these batten strips down to hold the plastic in place, and I'll trim it up and put the floats in there and make sure all that's nice, fits nicely. And here pretty soon I'll mix the chemical in for the hydroponic solution Yeah, this is still hydroponics. I am not ready for fish. Looks like fish won't be here until May, and I have a lot of building to do for the floating raft systems in here. I'm still working on the Dutch buckets as well, but got a lot of stuff in play here anyway. So I'll show you what this looks like when we're done. You've already seen me build one of these. I'm not really going to go into all that, but there's some little tips along the way, like don't lose your tools. All right, tubers, I'm out here doing a little work today. Took a couple days of vacation. Gonna try and get this set up at least for the hydroponic part until my fish get here. So I'm getting the cracky bed. I got it going, and I'll show you what I was doing with that in a minute. I'm wrapping the Dutch buckets. I'm adding new Dutch buckets. Got all kinds. This is for the hydroponics. I've got some new stuff for, well, I'll just show you. Buckets, lots of food grade buckets over there and over here for the aquaponics system. Oh yeah. Alright, I didn't show you how to make this because it's just, I threw something together to try and keep my plants warm while it's still going below freezing tonight, and I have not, at night, and I have not hung the heater in this greenhouse yet. But I just have a makeshift greenhouse within the greenhouse, and yeah, it's kind of embarrassing, but it's doing the trick. Got a couple heaters in there, and little work table. That's my multi-purpose tool, aka scaffold. But there's my plants, some starter plants in there. I'm getting ready to pot those up, be getting those ready to go into the Dutch buckets. And here's what I've been doing here. I've been taking these plants from these iceberg lettuce from here and rinsing all the soil off of the roots, putting them in the net cups, and then bringing them over here. I'll show you. You can look at this. This is how I was doing it. These are iceberg head lettuce that I started in some starter mix in the greenhouse, and I am getting ready to put them into net pots. Actually, I have been putting them into net pots and putting them into the cracky bed, which hopefully sometime around May I will retire, or sometime thereafter, because my fish come in May. It'll take a while before I get it all together, and we will no longer be using chemicals to feed this iceberg lettuce, but the fish waste. But this is what I'm doing with these. I have started them before in rock wool. That works really well, but this is what I had with everything else going on, and I've done this before. It seems to work out fine. First, I gently remove the lettuce and the soil, or the potting mix, from the tray. Break all the dirt off that I can. And rinse it. Do a couple of them here. The best way to make sure you get all the dirt off of it without taking the roots is to kind of spray them off instead of trying to break all the dirt off, and then hose them all off inside of here. Can you see those? And I just feed them through the net pot to where part of the root's coming down through the bottom. And we go over here. See that? And this is what they look like when we bring them over here. I've got some roots coming through, and it goes down into my nutrient solution, which is approximately 70 degrees because I have a 300-watt aquarium heater in there, and that keeps it nice and toasty warm for the roots. That's where I am, and I may show you more as I go along. I'm just wrapping this stuff in black plastic, trying to keep the algae down. Alright, tubers, I got my other Dutch bucket bench set up. Got to turn those bricks around though. I don't know why I did that. But anyway, a couple things I wanted to tell you real quick. It's getting late. Some of you, at least 2 or 3 of you, have talked about how not using these things, some kind of filter. If you used like the clay pebbles and stuff, and I wouldn't recommend it. I would recommend using some kind of filter anyway, because those roots do get from the buckets into this return, and I don't know if you can see that. There's some right there. I've got to get those out of there before I clean them up. And also, when I'm going back through these buckets, cleaning them up, I'm having to replace the rings. Can you see that? Greenhouse gets pretty warm, those things kind of bake. So I bought a bunch of them. I think I bought 100. And I'm just going to replace them. It's better than taking a chance and having them leak everywhere and wasting the nutrient solution, and it's expensive. Trying something else too. I don't know if I'm going to really do it or not. Thinking about running both of them into here. I had thought I was going to start using some of the principles for aquaponics, my aquaponics setup, and use this as the reservoir and have everything run from off gravity from the top. Just have an overflow at the top to go down to the bottom, and have gravity carry my nutrient solution to both of my beds. Thinking about doing that. I can get rid of that float valve there, put it at the top. We'll see. That's all for today. I'll give you a quick look around. I'll finish this up on these, getting these Dutch buckets ready, probably tomorrow. I took a couple days vacation to get this going. It's been kind of slow going. It's been so cold and rain and snow and so many things going on with singing Christmas tree and the play at the church, and I've got a lot of catching up to do. So until next time, y'all go play in some dirt. God bless, and we'll see you soon. Take care.